share screen. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much, so who doing the first one? Ariel, you want to start me off?
Yeah, just a second, right?
Somebody else, come now. Let me finish this class early today. Let me see how fast we can do this.
-3.
-3. You use your calculator. I want to know why.
Why? Because positive and a minus is a minus.
Right. So
A positive and a negative is a negative.
right. Well, kind of. But remember the rules. So ladies, Caitlin and Scotia, now it's time for Olia to be teacher. What are the rules when it comes to this? Remember we learned a couple of rules?
Yeah, find difference and the answer takes the sign of the greater number.
Right. So whenever you have a situation where the signs are different, so this is a negative and this 14 is a positive. So once the signs are different, you find the difference. So the difference between 14 and 17 is 3. And then you keep the sign of the larger number. Okay? Now, Ariel, I think I did that with you last time, but I know you probably wouldn't remember. If you look through the classes with the videos, we talk about those rules extensively. So when you're looking at those classes, make sure you're making your notes and things, because we just actually talk about those rules, right? So yeah. Where's this one now? Somebody. Don't let me have to call people name, you know. Let me go fast.
15.
Why?
Because sign.
Right. The signs, you had to watch the signs, right? 2 negatives will give you a positive. We all know that, right? Yeah. So when you have a negative and a negative, a -1 minus -1 is actually 1 plus 1. And negative gives you a positive. My question is, why? Can you prove that for me? And Caitlin is the only one who I talk. So, can you prove why a negative and a negative just give you a positive? Nobody?
If you do it on number line,
Yes, you could very well do it on the number line. So if I have the number line here, right, 0, right, and I have a +8, so on the number line, I'll be at +8. I'll be over here, right? We know that 8 minus 7. The signs on the number line refer to direction. So this is a +8. That means that I am in this direction from the 0. And the -7 tells me, yo, I want you to change direction and go back this way 7 steps. So when I change direction, I come back 7 steps, I end up with 1. That is 8 minus 7. So at the end of the day, if it is that I have 8 minus -7, what that's saying is, yeah, I want you to go back in that direction 7 steps, but now you're telling me you want me to change that direction now. So whatever direction this is had a change, right? So now that you can think of the negative as being a change in direction. So when you negating this direction, that means you going back. So yeah, so that is one way to look at it. So when it is that I have 8 minus -7, the -7 says, okay, I had to come back 7 this way. But this negative say, no, negate that, go back so. Right? So you could think about it like that. You can also think about it in a way that if I have $8 and I owe Ariel $7, then I'm going to have $1. Right? But if I have $8 and I owe Ariel $7, but then Ariel say, you know what, don't study it, right? Ariel subtracted the debt. She said, don't study it, you go your way. You don't care about that. Well, now I have an extra $7 that I can add on to the money that I had initially. So you could think about it like that too. So 7 and 8. I could now, instead of giving Ariel $7, when I make $7, I could keep it. Yeah? When I make my extra $7, that is. Right? So I think everybody okay with this double negative concept though. So let me get it going real quick, right? Where's this one here? Quick. Thank you. Hey, I hear Caitlin start to come out here a little easy. Right? What about this one? Quick.
40.
40. What about this one?
Negative.
-39. So at the end of the day, this comes back to the rule, right? On this side here, we had different signs. When you have different signs, you find the difference and you keep the sign of the larger number, right? In this case over here, we have the same signs. So when you have the same signs, you just add the numbers and keep the signs, right? Right. I don't want any one person answering twice. So if Scotia answer, that means somebody else have to answer. Scotia can't answer again. Scotia could only answer again after somebody else has answered. Okay, Caitlin? Alright. So where's this one here now? -9. So this is -21. And this double negative gives me a +12. And we will get -9. Good job. Where's this one here?
23.
Where's this one here, Ariel? This is a -12. And we have these double negatives here. So a negative and a negative is a positive. So that's a +9. Ariel? Huh? I'm not hearing you.
21.
21. All right. -12 plus 9. If it is that you think the rules and you don't know the rules, I doubt you remember the rules, but different signs means you find the difference, right? So once you have different signs, you find the difference. Now, of course, it looks all the same over here, right? It looks all the same over here, but the problem is that this is a double negative. So because that is a double negative, means that negative and a negative, this becomes a +9. And this remains -12. We don't have anything in front of here to mess with the 12. So now we can see here that we have different signs. And with different signs, the rule is you find the difference. So the difference between 9 and 12, 9, 10, 11, 12 is 3. And then you keep the sign of the larger number, which is negative. Right? Another way to look at it is if you are 0 and you are on -12, you want to add 9 means you're going back that way 9 steps and you will end up over here by -3. So nice try, Ariel, right? And I'm glad that and don't be afraid to be wrong, don't be afraid to make mistakes. These other ladies will tell you that, Caitlin will tell you that. At the end of the day, it's not about being right or wrong. It's just about, actually exposing what it is that you know and what it is you need to brush up on and what it is you need help with, right? So we're really here to help each other. So what about this? Somebody fast.
-38.
-38, right. Now the reason why, Ariel, is because in this case we had different signs. So with different signs, you find the difference, right? Just remember that. With different signs, you find the difference. In this case, we have the same signs. So because we have the same signs, you just add and you keep your sign. Yeah. Where's this one? Quick.
22.
Huh?
22.
22, because we have the double negative, so that means that this is 3 plus 19. This one, fast.
14.
14. Right? Ariel, you're not quick on the draw, you know. Right? Even though these children have the answers in front of them. Right? Because Ariel didn't do the test. So, now, you could tell, I mean, this is a normal subtraction. 19 minus 5 is 14. Everybody know that, right? But you could still see the rules applying. That when you have different signs, so this is a negative 5, this is a plus 19. So when you have different signs, you find the difference and you keep the sign of the larger number. Right? Where's this one? Ariel, try this one. It's not about being right.
19.
Alright, negative 19. Right? And that is, yes, and good job. So when it is that you have the same signs, you just add the numbers and you keep the sign, whatever sign that it is. Right? So good job. So Ariel, as you can see, this is one of the things that we had covered, directed numbers and that kind of thing. So so definitely when you look over the class videos, you'll be expecting to do a lot of these things. And yeah, so I hope that you will actually go through the videos and brush up on it now. Now we're dealing with BODMAS involving fractions. So we have two things that we're testing here, BODMAS as well as fractions. Now, all you want me to start here and go down, or all you want me to start here and go across? Caitlin and Scotia. Across. Caitlin, you went down or you went across?
Yes.
Oh wow! You know that's funny because all of my form 3s they went down. So Caitlin, maybe you really belong in this form 4-5 class, you know. So okay, so I have this problem. What do I do first?
Bracket.
Right. So just remind Ariel, because Ariel did this when the dinosaurs were on the earth. BODMAS, right? And that means that your brackets come first. You have to do your brackets first. Division and multiplication is actually the same thing, so you do them second. And then addition and subtraction are the same thing, so you do that third or last, right? So we do the brackets first. So how do we do these brackets? Caitlin, remember Scotia can't answer right now.
Ideal.
Right. So the LCM, we could just, and you know, we went this LCM thing, but I tell you, don't even study with LCM. Just multiply them. 8 2s are 16. So you just multiply a denominator, and then you cross multiply like this. Right? So 8 times 1 is 8, and then 2 times 3 is 6. And then you keep the sign negative. And so that is 8 minus 6, which is 2 over 16. So this answer here is 2 over 16, which is actually 1 over 8. 1 over 8. So in the brackets, this works out to be 1 over 8. So the problem is really 3 over 8 minus 1 over 8, which is 2 over 8, which is 1 over 4. Nice. And we're going across. So what to do with this one now? What do I have to do first?
Brackets.
Brackets. Always do your brackets first. So this is a third plus 1, which is 1 and a third. Right? So 1 and a third 3 ones are 3 and 1 is 4 on 3. So I now have 4 on 3 multiplied by a half divided by 7 on 7. So which one should I do first here now? It does not matter. Multiplication and division is essentially the same thing. So you could divide the half by the 7 on 7, which is 1. So you could divide the half by 1 first, or you could multiply this side first. Multiplication and division is the same thing, so they are together in the BODMAS, right? So we can multiply 4 times 1. Actually, we could cross multiply this 1 here and this 4, 2, yeah. So now we have 2 on 3 multiplied by 1 divided by 1, which is 1 divided by 1 is 1. So that's 2 on 3 multiplied by 1, which is 2 on 3. So you all getting the stuff correct, right?
Yeah.
Caitlin?
Yeah, that's it.
Alright. So what about this now? How to do this?
Bracket.
Brackets. And what do I do with the brackets? Do I hug them?
You work them out.
Alright, so I work them out and work it out from a fast. What do I do?
So 2, 3, 4, 6,
Lovely, and I'm glad you did it like that. Because a lot of them form 3s, they went and they did it this way. They went 2 over 1 minus 2 over 3. Then they find the LCM. 3 times 1 is 3. And then they went and they cross multiply. 3 2s are 6 minus 2 1s are 2. And they get the answer 4 on 3. But you did it in the more mature way. You recognized that 2 could be seen as 6 over 3 minus 2 over 3. And you get back the same 4 over 3. So in the brackets here we have 4 over 3. And what do we do now? We will call the brackets. What now? The multiplication. Very good. You had to do the multiplication first. So you can't do nothing without 160 yet. So we could actually go 2 into 2, 1. 2 into 4, 2. So what is this? This is 1 multiplied by 2 on 3. So we get 1 over 6 plus 1 on 3. What now? Caitlin.
Actually, I think this is one thing.
What? What's that?
When you do multiply, it's supposed to be 2 on 2. So I don't understand how to do 1 over 2.
Alright, so we see in here, you understand how from the brackets we get 4 over 3, right?
Yeah.
Right. And we see in here that this 4 over 3 is multiplied by a half, eh?
Yeah.
Right. And you have to work this multiplication first. You can't do the addition, right? So I'm actually thinking about this multiplication here. So because it's a multiplication, if you want, we could do it in 2 ways. We could just multiply it across like this. Or remember, it's a multiplication. 2 into 1 is 1. 2 into 4 is 2. So we end up with 2 on 3 multiplied by 1. Eh? Oh, and that is 2 on 3 over here. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that's my mistake. It's Saturday, right? Yeah. So good job. So Caitlin, what from here?
6. 1 plus 4 over 6.
1 plus 4. What?
You find the LCM of 4, 6, and 2, which is 6, and then add from.
And then you can cross multiply. You mean?
Yeah.
2 into. Remember the surefire way I was saying to do it is 6 3s are 18, and then just cross multiply. So 6 2s are 12. Well, the 12 will come on this side because that is where the 2 is, and 3 1s are 3. So now you'll have 12, 13, 14, 15 over 18. And you'll end up with 5 trees are 15 and 6 trees are 18, right? So 5 on 6, right? It have another way to do it though. What's the other way to do it, Scotia?
The other one?
Yeah, the other way is actually seeing that this 2 on 3, if you just represent that as an equivalent fraction, 1 on 6 multiply by 4 on 6, and?
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, so this is the other way. Right? So instead of going and doing all the LCM thing, you just multiply this by 2 and you will get the equivalent fraction because these two are the same thing. So now I have 4 on 6 plus 1 on 6 to give me 5 on 6. And you see why it's so important to do these things. So remember, instead of doing the LCM thing, because the LCM thing does not always work out. And the reason why I'm saying, instead of taking, yeah, you could take 6 as the lowest common multiple here, but take 18 instead. 6 times 3, 6 trees are 18, right? 6 trees are 18, right? Yeah. 6 times 3 is 18, yeah. So 6 trees are 18, simply because when we reach algebra, that is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to multiply your denominators. Yeah? So practice the multiplication of those denominators from now, right? I don't want to talk no more, so somebody fast.
Multiply 3 half by quarter 3.
So I'm multiplying this, and what am I going to get? You can multiply it right here. 1 times 1 is 1, and 4 times 2 is 8, right?
Yeah.
And what now? What do I do first now?
Yeah, multiply.
Multiply what? Look at what I have here. 2 minus a quarter plus what was in the bracket, which is 1/8. Eh? Alright, so that's what I have. What now?
Yeah, quarter is equal to 2 over 8.
Right. So you're gonna add the quarter to the 8 now, right? Does it matter which one I do first?
No.
No, it doesn't matter, right? So at the end of the day, I could actually minus the quarter from the 2 and then add it to the 8, or add the 8 to the quarter and then minus it from the 2, right? So in this way we're thinking about it like that, right? But what we could do is we could actually think about this too. We could think about this too as being 8 on 4 and
Yeah.
minus 1 on 4 plus 1 on 8. So that will be 8 on 4 minus 1 on 4 is 7 on 4 plus 1 on 8. Right? And then we could take this 7 on 4 and express it as 14 on 8.
Yeah.
14 on 8 plus 1 on 8 will give me 15 on 8. And this is the final answer. So did you all get this for your answer, Caitlin? No?
I know it is.
Huh? You need it? Why? Is it because you added this? Will adding that really work though? If I had 1, if I had 3 minus 2 plus 1, right? 3 minus 2 is 1, right? And then 1 plus 1 is 2, right? But what if I went 3 minus and I add inside here first? 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 minus 3 is 0. Eh? So this one, which one of them right? Which one of them wrong? And this is where we bring back to the commutative thing. Because at the end of the day, addition is commutative. So you can add it in any order. But remember, subtraction is not commutative. You know what is wrong about this, adding inside of the brackets, is because this here, this 2 is not a positive 2. That 2 is a negative 2, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if that 2 is a negative 2, and you wanted to deal with these two numbers first, you would have to go 1 plus negative 2, right? So you can leave the 3 here and you could go 1 plus negative 2. Where's 1 plus negative 2? 1 plus negative 2 is what? Find the difference. 1. Yeah? So 1 plus the negative 2, you'll end up getting negative 1 as the answer. And then you'll get back this 2. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So you gotta be real careful, right? So what you guys did, and I'm glad that we did this, right? What you guys did is you created brackets over here. You added these two first, but you forgot the fact that, hey, this quarter is actually negative. Yeah? They have a negative quality about it. So this quarter will change your direction on the number line. So you had to treat it as a negative. But you all understand the process that I went through, right? Ariel, how you doing?
I'm looking at the process.
And of course, all of this probably hitting you real hard, Ariel. But you could take your time and go over all of the 4 classes. And we just talk about all of these things, yeah? So you'll be able to make your notes and catch up with where we reach. But this is a good kind of baptism by fire, just throwing you in the pool kind of thing, right? Caitlin, I'm not hearing you. Tell me what to do. Right. So I have to do the brackets first, but I have to do this divide first because of BOD mass. BOD mass say you have to divide or multiply before you do the addition. So I have 4 times, open brackets, a half plus, and then I could do this. And remember, this is what I was thinking. You could think about this as, even if this was a minus, you could still put brackets and think about this like 1 unit, because multiplication and division, remember we were talking about this, multiplication and division will actually make this 1 unit. So even if this was a minus over here, you wouldn't have to consider the 2/8 to be a minus, because this is a divide, or if it was a multiply, you could actually think of this entire thing as being minus, right? In this case, that was not so. In this case, this wasn't a divide or multiply, this was an add. So addition and subtraction, you can't think of these two things as 1 unit that you could put brackets around. You know? So all of these little things, these are the things that get us in algebra. And you can see that the problems was never with algebra. The problems came from arithmetic, right? So we have 2/8 multiplied by a half. You know that is really just 2/8 sorry, divided by a half is really just multiply by 2 over 1. We invert this and multiply. Right? So that means that 2 into 2, 1, 2 into 8, 4. So that means that this works out to be a half. So now 4 multiplied by a half plus a half is 1. That means that 4 times 1, the answer is 4. You all got that for this?
Yeah, I got it.
Alright. Caitlin, how you doing with all of this?
Thanks, so far.
Good so far? How much are you getting plenty wrong or just 1 or 2?
I get 1 wrong so far.
Wow, okay, that's good. That's really, really good. That one that we just talked about there.
Yeah.
And that is because both of you all added this before you, yeah? Or you added this.
Yeah.
Right, so what we had to do first? Come now, I want to go home. What are we doing first?
2 minus a half.
Right, so we definitely had to do brackets first, but we can see we have this set of brackets inside. Now this is not correctly written. This is not correctly written. Because this side, this brackets are supposed to be inside these brackets here. So because they have this one, means that they should have this one to close off this bracket here. And then you can have these brackets inside of the bigger brackets. So this is what they really meant to say. So if anybody got this wrong, I would not blame you because this was not well written. Right? But 4 over 2 minus 1 over 2, same denominator. So 4 minus 1 is 3 over 2 plus 1. That is what we end up with inside the brackets, multiply by a half. So 3 over 2 plus 1 is 1 and 3 over 2. 1 and 3 over 2, 2 ones are 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 over 2. 5 over 2 multiplied by a half. 5 and 1 is 5. Well, 5 times 1 is 5. And 2 times 2 is 4. 5 over 4. You all get that?
Yeah.
Nice. So this one, Ariel, real quick, what to do first? So the brackets first will mean what? 7 minus 1 is 6. So I now have a third multiplied by 6, which will give me what? 1/3 multiplied by 7 minus 1 is 6. So what's a third multiplied by 6? Can't remember? Can't remember how to do them thing?
Do I get 3?
No. Right? You could do this a couple of ways. Right? Remember, this 6 is really 6 over 1. Right? So, and when you watch the video on multiplying fractions, then you're gonna remember. I know right now you're just trying to remember how to do all of this stuff. So it's revision for you, right? But when you're multiplying fractions, you just multiply your numerator and you multiply your denominator. So 6 times 1 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. So you have 6 over 3. And now 3 into 3, 1. 3 into 6, 2. The answer is 2. Yeah? I know it now jogging inside of your memory, all of these things. You probably have plenty cobweb to clear out and things. I know how it is, don't worry. Somebody, give me this one quick. Which is?
4 over 6 minus 1 is...
Right, so I like this. You could see this as an equivalent fraction. You could actually just say 4 over 6. That is the same as 2 over 3. And what I did is I just multiplied this by 2. So 2 2s are 4 and 2 3s are 6. I multiplied it by 2 because I know that 2 3s would have given me 6. And I wanted the same denominator as that. Right? So once I get this, so basically I just turned this into an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 6. So now it's easy. I don't have to find no LCM or nothing. I could just go 4 minus 1 is 3 over 6. So inside here is 3 over 6. Outside here is 4 over 6. So my answer is 1 over 6. Caitlin, you get through that one?
Yeah.
Alright, nice. Right. So all of these here is the same exact procedure. Right? All of these here is the same exact procedure. So I'll just do the procedure for the first one, and then I want Ollie to call the answers for all of the rest, right? So the first thing I would do is change to improper fractions. So 5 times 8 is 40, plus 1 is 41 over 5, divided by 8 threes. Where's 8 threes? 24, and 4 is 28 over 8. So once you convert to improper, then you invert this one and multiply. So now we have 41 over 5 multiplied by, and you invert it, so you get 8 over 28. And I'm not sure, can this be reduced? Let me use my calculator, because I can't be thinking right now. 41 over 5 multiplied by 8 over 28, and that gives us 2 and 12 over 35. You all end up with that one?
I have 2 and 11 over 35.
Serious? So you probably just do something. Caitlin, what did you get?
Oh yeah, 2 and 6.
I got 27 over 35.
So you got this?
Yeah.
Alright, nice, right? So let's just see. You all call answers, and if the two earlier have the same answer, then it's probably right. And if it have any difference, then we'll work it out, right? So where's the answer for Ollie for this one?
20 over 29.
20 over 29. You agree, Caitlin?
Yeah.
Alright. What's the answer you get for this one?
3 over 5.
3 over 5. You agree, Caitlin?
Yep.
Alright, number 4.
27 over 38.
You agree, Caitlin?
Yeah.
Alright. What about this one?
9 over 50.
9 over?
52.
You agree, Caitlin?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, I was looking for questions just now, sorry. It takes so long.
Alright, well, what about this one?
5 and 7 over 9.
5 and 7 over 9, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, so once both of you all concur, then that is pretty much it. So you all got all of these correct, right?
I made a mistake for the first one.
Yes, no worries. No worries at all. That's how it is good. You saw the mistake you make?
Yeah, it was so dumb.
Yeah, they often are, right? But once you understand it. Indices, right? So we have copy the following statements and fill in the missing numbers. Remember, 1 mark for every correct answer. So when we multiplying, what do you do with the indices?
Yeah, add them.
So 7 and 3 is 10, right? Nice. Over this one, 6 and 5.
11.
Thank you. What about dividing? What do you do?
Minus.
So 7 minus 4 is?
3.
Where's this one? 3 and 4 is 7. Alright. What do you do with this one now? Multiply the indices. So 5 times 2. 5 2s are what? 10?
Yeah.
And then multiply 6 3s are 18. Alright. And what do we do with this one?
Yeah, minus.
Minus, because this is the same as this. Is a divide. So 6. This is really 3 to the 6 being divided by 3 to the 2. So you just minus your indices. 6 minus 2, which is 4. And then what about this?
5.
Yeah, 7 minus 2, which is 5. Thank you very much, Caitlin. Right? Yes, you can. Yeah, Scotia cannot answer twice in a row. So, right. So this one is a little bit different. Did you all have problems with this one?
No.
No. All right. So what is this supposed to be?
11.
11. Why?
Because, I can explain it to you.
Well, guess what? You know that when you're multiplying indices, you're supposed to add the indices, right? So you know that 6 plus some number, 6 plus some number is supposed to give you 17. Yeah? So what you were actually doing here, you were actually doing algebra. 6 plus some number is 17. So therefore that number there had to be 17 minus 6. So this entire question was actually on algebra 11. So 6 plus 11 will give you 17, right? Where's this one here?
5.
Alright, let me go. Come on.
2.
2, because 6 is a divide. So 6 minus 2 will give me 4. This one.
3.
3. 6 3s are 18. There we go.
5.
9.
Yes.
5.
5 times 8 is 40. Very good. This one. 12. Because 13 divides, so it's a minus 12. 1. And this q by itself, and this is one question that all of the form trees got wrong. They forgot that when you have a number by itself, that actually means that it is to the power of 1. So just remember those little things. Anything to the power of 1 is itself. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. And in class, we actually proved this. So Ariel, you'll be able to see the proof of these things, why these things are true. We proved all of these things during our last 4 classes, right? Ariel, you okay?
Yeah.
How are you feeling about all of this? Are you saturated yet?
No, I think do you think I will kind of because the two sort of things I started class and everything else I remember.
The first set of things, which is the directed numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No problem. Well, you could always just look through all of the classes, and if it have anything that you want me to go over with you could always message me, and I could always come online. We could do a little separate session, and I could just kind of help you out with anything you have problems with, right?
Okay.
Alright. So when you check out them classes, just note anything you don't understand. Just let me know, right?
Okay.
Alright, so guys, this one, quick. Remember, a mark for every answer.
It says box to have 18.
18 over here?
Yeah.
Why? Because this here, I had to work inside the brackets first, and this is a multiply, which means I have to add these two. So 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is supposed to be 9. You know what I'm saying?
But we go for
Yeah. So remember this in this bracket here to the power of 4 is really this here in the brackets to the power of 4. So what they were asking you to do, and I know you're probably you probably, so you're seeing here inside the brackets, so they want you to work out the inside the bracket first and then give you the final answer. And I know it might have been a confusing thing, but essentially if you read it correctly, so 6 plus 3 is 9, and 9 times 4 now is 36. Caitlin, did you get this one? So you add the 9 and the 4.
Yeah, I must start that. And then I must start again by another 4.
Why?
I don't.
Alright, but you all recognize here that this is the inside of the bracket here, right?
Yeah, but I'm really this I thought the same thing she said, they want to do off pattern next, so I didn't know that was the same thing.
Yeah, so you thought that this entire thing was in the bracket there.
Yeah.
I see, I understand. Alright, so let me see what about this one. So inside of the brackets there is in here now. So what that's supposed to be. 6 minus 2 is what? 6 minus 2, 5 4 is 20. You all get this one? No? I mean, what did you all do for this one? Is it that so you all read this section wrong in terms of interpreting and reading the question, right? So so what did you guys do for this one?
I think the same much the last one. I thought I was gonna try.
So what did you do? Is that you did you do 6 minus 4? So sorry, 6 minus 2, which is 4, and then you multiplied it by 5. Right, so you would have gotten 20 over here.
Yeah.
And then you went 20 times 5, which is 100 over here.
Yeah.
Ah, I understand. But at least, you know, I mean, yeah, you can't count these as marks. So Caitlin, you did the same thing?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I meant for you to work out inside the brackets first. And then you see that. But that is okay. That's not necessarily your fault. However, I thought that that the question was not worded that badly, but I could see how you could miss it. So in this case, I would have had 3 and 4 is 7, and then this 7 would have been minus 7. So 7 minus 7 is 0. So inside the brackets works out to be 0. So 2 to the 0 multiplied by 4, which is 0 still. Okay? In this case, I have inside of the brackets here, which is 3 squared multiplied by 9 is also 3 squared. So 2 and 2 is 4, and 4 minus 3 is 1. So I'll have 1 times 4. That gives me 4. Right?
I got that one.
That is weird, right? Right, so 8 and 2 is 10. 10 minus 3, that gives me 7. 7 4s are what? 28. Right? Well, we could do the bottom first. 3 and 2 is 5. So now I have 8 minus 5, which is 3. No, 8 minus 5 is 3, yeah. And 5 3s are 15. Nice. So that is okay. That is fine. I'm glad that you could see. So just read the questions a little carefully. This question though was a little bit tricky, so I do understand the mistake that you guys made. However, the mistake that you guys made did not make sense in terms of the brackets and in terms of reading the brackets. Okay? So just be careful when it comes to how you read those brackets. Right, with this guy now, I will just do this guy quickly. So this is 3.0 by 10 to the 4. So we move 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 0, 0. So this is 30,000. Now, did you get through with that?
Yeah.
Caitlin?
Yes.
Right, so we're converting from standard form to normal decimal numbers. So 3.6 by 10 to the 4. There you go. The point 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 0, 0, 36,000. 8.2 by 10 to the 3, 1, 2, 3, that is 8,200. 3.1 by 10 to the 2, 1, 2, so that's 310. 1.6 by 10 to the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so that is 16,000. 1.72 by 10 to the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, 0, 0, so that is what, 172,000, 172,000. 6.83 by 10 to the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 0, so that is 68,300. 1.25 by 10 to the 6, so I'm going to end up in the millions here, 1,250,000. Over here, 9.1 by 10 to the 3, 1, 2, 3, that gives me 9170. How well you did with that? Any wrong?
No.
Caitlin? Not really.
Yeah, I didn't make any wrong.
Alright, it's okay if you get any wrong, you know, that's fine. That's fine, right? I had a Form 3 who got all of these wrong because they made a very, very critical error that a lot of people make. You had to take these numbers and you have to convert them to standard form. So because this have a 4 in it, means that I know I want 4 point something, 4.0 by 10 to the something. Now I'm gonna work out what the something is. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's by 10 to the 4. Is that correct? Is that what you had as your answer, Scotia?
I had minus.
Caitlin, what did you have? Negative 4?
Yeah.
Well, negative 4 is the correct answer. Right? It has to be negative 4. Yes, because, and this is the mistake that the Form 3 made. They counted 1, 2, 3, 4, so they put 4. But 4.0 by 10 to the 4 gives you 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 40,000, which is not this. You want to end back up with this. So therefore it has to be negative 4 so that you can go back this way with it and you can end back up with this number here. Right? Ariel, you understand this whole reasoning of what we just do?
Yeah.
Alright, just checking. Right? So therefore, where's this? Call out the answer for me quick.
8 times 10 to the power of negative 3.
Negative 3. Caitlin?
142 plus 4 by 10 to the power of negative 3.
Alright, 142 by 10 to the power of negative 3. Scotia, what do you think about this?
Alright, so this is 1.43.
Yes, because in standard form, this number has to be less than 10 and it has to be greater than or equal to 1. Remember that, Caitlin? Yeah? So in other words, for this number, we want something between 1 and 10. You could never have double digits. So I don't even want 10.0. No. You can't have double digits in front of the point sign. So yeah, I had to have a single digit in front of the point sign. So this will actually be 1.42 by 10 to the negative 1. You understand, Caitlin?
Yeah.
This number, that's okay. I'm sure you'll never make that mistake again. This number must be between 1 and 10. It cannot be greater than 10. It cannot be less than 1, right? It can't even be equal to 10. It has to be a single digit number. So this one here, same thing, will be 3.2 by 10 to the negative 123. Negative 3. This one here, 1.9 by 10, oh, 1.99, sorry, by 10 to the 123. Negative 3. This one will be 6.2 by 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, negative 8. This one will be 9.7 by 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 6. Now this one will be 2.1 by 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, negative 13. How much of those are they get wrong? Caitlin, how are you? I'm guessing, Caitlin, that you made this mistake in other places as well, right? So how much you end up getting wrong? Don't be ashamed, don't worry. 6, that's fine. That's fine. You know why I'm happy for you, Caitlin? I'm happy for you because you, I am sure, will never make that mistake again. And the thing is, Scotia is still in danger of making that mistake because she didn't get bite. But you, Caitlin, you get bite. So you know not to do that again. Right? So that is the wonderful thing about making mistakes and getting things wrong. Right? What is the total out of? All of these things here. What is the total out of?
So every question is 1 mark.
Every answer is 1 mark. So it have some questions like these questions, like this question here that had 2 answers. So every answer is 1 mark.